Strangers pray at night. In a dark and quiet trailer park, a van pulls up to one such trailer. A woman living in that trailer wakes up to hear the music playing from the car. She then finds the killer known as Dollface, Emma Bellamy, in her house, and she asks why she is there. Another killer, pin-up girl, Lee Enslin, goes into the bedroom to lie down next to the woman's husband. Elsewhere, a couple, Mike, Martin Henderson, and Cindy, Christina Hendricks, are getting ready to go on a trip with their moody and rebellious teen daughter Kinsey, Bailey Madison. They stop by the park to pick up their son Luke, Lewis Pullman, as he is playing a game with his buddies. Kinsey is set to be sent off to boarding school due to her history of bad behavior. They first plan to spend a getaway with their Uncle Marvin at Gatlin Lake. On the trip, the family stops at a diner where Kinsey steps outside to smoke a cigarette. Cindy goes outside to talk to her, but Kinsey thinks her parents only see her as a fuck-up. The family arrives at the trailer park. Cindy enters the main shop to find a note and key supposedly left by Marvin so they can go to their trailer. Once they get there, they hear a knock on the door. Cindy answers to find Dollface, without her mask, but concealed in darkness, asking the infamous question, "Is Tamara home?" Cindy tells her she has the wrong place, and Dollface walks away. Kinsey leaves the trailer to get fresh air, but also to get away from everyone. Luke goes after her. Luke and Kinsey walk together and come across a trailer with the door open. They enter and hear a banging sound. They open the door to find a dog, who runs out. The two then notice a rancid smell coming from one of the rooms. Luke sees "hello" written repeatedly in red on the window. Kinsey notices something covered with a sheet. She pulls it off to find Marvin's horribly mutilated corpse. The two run out. Dollface shows up at the family's trailer again to ask about Tamara. After being sent away again, Mike and Cindy leave to find the kids run up to them looking terrified. Cindy takes Kinsey inside to call the police, while Mike and Luke go back to Marvin's trailer. Cindy discovers that all of their phones have been smashed. Moments later, Dollface appears behind them with a knife. Cindy and Kinsey run into the bathroom and lock themselves in. Kinsey gets out through an opening in the ceiling as Dollface starts trying to break in. Cindy helps her daughter escape, but Dollface stabs her to death as Kinsey watches before fleeing. Mike and Luke find Marvin's body, along with his wife. They return to their trailer to find Cindy's body, causing the two of them to break down. Outside, they are being stalked by the man in the mask, Damien Maffei. Mike finds Marvin's gun and loads it, threatening to use it on the man in the mask, but he vanishes. They take their car to go get help, only for man in the mask to throw something at them and cause Mike to crash into another trailer. After the two regain consciousness, Mike finds himself pinned to his seat by a wooden piece of the trailer's porch. He gives Luke the gun and tells him to go find Kinsey and get out of there. Mike tells Luke he is proud of him. After Luke leaves, Mike tries to free himself, but man in the mask finds him and silently taunts him by playing music in the car before stabbing him in the throat with an ice pick. Man in the mask then chases after Kinsey in his car. She finds a hiding spot and yells at him to leave them alone, but pin-up girl emerges next to her and says they are just getting started. Kinsey runs back to the trailer and is attacked by Dollface, who slashes her arm and stabs her leg. Luke finds her and holds Dollface off by threatening to shoot her. He grabs Kinsey and runs. Luke tends to Kinsey's wounds as they try to calm each other down. Kinsey blames herself for them being there, as they wouldn't have had to take the trip if she wasn't always being bad, but Luke tells her to stop talking like that. Man in the mask then rams into the trailer with his car, forcing the siblings to run, but Luke leaves the gun behind. Luke leaves Kinsey hidden under a porch as he runs to the shop to get help. He picks up the phone and calls 911, but the connection is lost as the killers start to mess with the power. Luke grabs a golf club as pin-up girl finds him. He runs toward the pool, where she attempts to attack him, but he whacks her in the face with the club. He tries to unmask her, but she tries to stab him. Luke manages to take the knife from her and stab her to death. Man in the mask shows up moments later with his axe and goes after Luke. The two fall in the pool and struggle for the knife. Luke tries to get away, but man in the mask stabs him and leaves him to bleed out. Kinsey manages to find Luke and keep him hidden while she tries to get help. Kinsey manages to get a police officer to stop and try to help her, only for Dollface to show up and slash the man's throat. Kinsey tries to get away in the officer's van, but Dollface has the keys. She opens the door and starts slashing at Kinsey, but she grabs the officer's rifle and blasts Dollface away. Kinsey takes off Dollface's mask and asks her why they are attacking them. With a bloody smile, Dollface replies, "Why not?" Kinsey then finishes her off with another blast. She then tries to drive back to Luke, only for Man in the Mask to ram into the van with his own. Kinsey gets out and notices the cars are leaking fuel. She grabs her lighter and ignites the fuel, causing both cars to explode. However, Man in the Mask somehow survived that and chases after Kinsey in his car. They reach a bridge, where he gets out of the car and pulls a shard of glass out of his abdomen before dropping to the ground, seemingly dead. Kinsey spots another car with a woman and her son approaching. She gets them to stop, but Man in the Mask reappears and tries to attack. Kinsey hops in the back of the car as the woman drives away. Man in the Mask tries to get Kinsey, but she grabs a bat and bludgeons him over the head, finally killing him. A while later, Kinsey is recovering in the hospital, as is Luke, who is unconscious. As Kinsey goes to get some water, she hears a loud banging on her door.